This video is showing a tool that's generating production data for Gratings. The tool is integrated into the group tool. It's an addition for a client, and its design follows the design that you can see in the video production data for standard parts concept. The tool has it has two functions. It has a check function and an export function, and it has a few additional helping functions for gratings, grid on, grid off, and rotate span 90 degrees. The way the tool works is we have to isolate the gratings, and then we either can use the name assignment part of the group tool that would assign the name grating to the parts, to the selected parts, and make a standard part check, or we can make a standard part check. I'll use the standard part check function here, grab all parts, and we get the message what was done. Gratings subtype fiber 25 got checked, and we have the color arrow code here that tells us what was found. It says red OK, and we have red and blue ones, and blue is geometry. I'll show top view. The tool that was designed, in discussion with a client, and we looked at a lot of projects, what gratings look like, and what kind of types of grating we would like to treat as standard parts, and what subtypes we would need. And we finally came to the decision that the basic form of the grating would be a rectangle, and the direction of the rectangle would be defined by the span direction, not by the element coordinate system. And then we would allow one cut, and as maximum two inner or two rectangular cutouts. And the direction of the cutouts is also the span direction. These are the limitations that the tool is making for the standard part tools, and we get a quota of altogether about 90% of all gratings that we cover. The modifications that we allow result in nine different subtypes, and we have system template drawings for all of these subtypes. In between exporting the data to the system drawings that we use, system drawings that show a system representation of the standard part, and then they have a table that for the production data. In between we can make the positioning, and I will do that. That's also a customized positioning tool, and we use start position. We say initial positioning, and we say start position 2001, and grab the parts. First the parts are treated as single parts and then as groups, and we see that we have a couple of regular position numbers, so these must be the excluded, the blue gratings, and then we have this standard part type of position number that has a first part that's like a group position number that is referring to the system drawing that the part will be exported to the part data, and then we have a second, the addition, the index of the part in the system drawing. And we see we have 21, 20, so we have 2, 23, 26, 4, and what else? 25, 23, 21. So we have altogether, I think, eight 8 different types of eight subtypes used, and I'll say OK here. And if we make the export now, we grab the data, says grading group position numbers are correct, we can continue, and the tool is opening the system drawing templates and is loading the data and is exporting the data to the system drawings. And we see that we have all the necessary data in here, the name of the part, position number, the type, fiber 25, the thickness, and we have the geometric data, length, width, and we have a sketch of the part. And that's very important because it tells the people in the shop what the part looks like. So let's look just a quick look through the system drawings, through the drawings for the production data. We also see that plain rectangular gratings. We also have the sketches. Yeah, that's a grating that has one cut, upper left corner, and then we have the upper right corner, and then we have one cutout. And because the cutout, here also the sketches help to see what the final gratings have to look like. And let's see, one cutout looks like this, last one no, and this looks like this, and see 6, 2 cutouts, and you see what the gratings look like. And 7 is let's check. 7 is 1 cut and 2 cutouts, and the grating looks like this. So that's drawing production. For gratings, production data generation. Sorry, for gratings, very fast, reliable. And as an addition to the functions of the tool, I will show what the tool is really checking, what the tool is doing in the test. And I prepared a test drawing that shows us. I'll just go through the gratings here. What do we have to take into account? We have to check, for instance, if top side is really on top. And we can do that by checking the set direction of the element coordinate system. And we see here it's up. That's correct, seems to be correct, but it's only correct because the part is not mirrored. I'll make a list, and it's not mirrored. Here the set direction is pointing down. The surface, the grid is on the right side, it's on the top, and the reason is that the part is mirrored. So mirroring a part is mirroring the ECS, and so that's why these are correct, while these down here are not correct, because that's not mirrored part with a set direction pointing down, and that's a mirrored part with the set direction pointing up. And for both gratings, the surface is on the downside, and that's wrong. Then we see that the direction of the grating is defined by the span direction here, not by the element coordinate system. These gratings will both be standard parts, although the ECS direction is not orthogonal to the sides. Then what do we have? We have, for instance, grating might be rectangular, but it may have, it might be a polygonal grating anyway. So that's covered. And then we have, what I described in the video so far. We have the options, which is one cut and two cutouts. That are all of these are standard gratings. What's not allowed is a grating that consists of two parts, like this one. Also, what is not allowed is this grating, because it has a mixture. The height of the grating is not matching the material. The material is fiber 25, but the height is 30. So this grating has a wrong material. Then here we have modifications, drilled holes that are not allowed. Or here we have condition that a grating is okay, is maybe a standard part, is that the grating has only two contours, an upper and a lower, and they have to be on the surface. So this grating, for instance, I think it has a edge modification. Make that more prominent now. Here, that's not okay. And also this grating is not okay because it has three contours, and I'll show that. Yeah, the hole. Also this one is not okay. And then these gratings are not okay because of the amount of modifications. This grating is not okay because of the span direction. Also, this grating, the ECS seems to be okay, but the span direction is not okay. Here we have two cuts. Here we have three cutouts. And here we have an inclined cut. So I'll show, that that's really covered by the tool. And what I'll do is I will copy these parts. I will turn all colors to by layer. So we have, and I will turn off the grid so that we see that. Okay, and now I'll make the check. Oops. Here. And we see we get the same colors. Magenta, the blue ones, cyan, green, yellow, and the red ones are okay. So the tool is really checking all that, and you really can rely on the result of the standard part check and rely that the data that's generated is really the data for gratings that are valid, and that gratings that are not valid are excluded by the test. There are other tools to generate production data for so-called standard parts, for typical components. You find them on our webpage. On our webpage there's also contact information in case you try to get in touch with us.